Hello, everyone. Really good to see you. 74 good, faithful people here, all ready to start. Those are the ones we like in choral societies. Yep, they get the chairs out. Yes, they make sure everybody's comfortable. They catch up with the latest gossip. And, of course, prepare the cup of tea for the conductor. So very, very good to see you indeed. I so enjoyed doing the hymns with you. When I say you, it won't be everybody. It'll be some of you, and I hope some people have brought their friends along. And of course I'll say these things again when we get started. But one of the really lovely comments that I remember getting for the next one is that I thought that I couldn't sing, and now I know that I can. So I'll say this again. If you know of somebody who says they can't sing, people only say they can't sing when they would like to be able to sing. So assume they would like to be able to sing and get them to come along. And everybody can sing. Otherwise, we would say good morning instead of good morning, or good morning instead of good morning. We all understand inflection and we can all do it. So do encourage friends to come along. And I'll tell you a little trick actually I use for people, which we can all use for people who say they can't sing. And that is, they say, I can't sing, but I'd like to. And I say, right, okay, come with me, and obviously go somewhere private so that others can't overhear them, because embarrassment's often the thing. And I say, right, sing me a note. Now most people say, sing this, and they go, but if you say sing a note, they first look at you as if to say, excuse me, I just told you I couldn't sing. So they just go, whoa. And you say, right, well done, you've sung that note. La, do it again. Whoa. Well done, you've now sung two different notes. La, okay, sing me another one. And you go on. Teachers are always tempted to do too much themselves. We teachers are always tempted to do too much themselves. And our perfect job is to get the answers out of the children or students or whoever is learning. So here I go. I've only been on for 2 minutes and I'm banging on about teaching. Anyway, lovely to see everybody. I'm so pleased that this brilliant idea has been taken up by so many people. I actually don't know who had the idea, but I know it's one of this choir, and perhaps Mark will tell me sometime, because it's a brilliant plan to sing for Prince Philip his favourite hymn and present it to the royal family, notably Her Majesty the Queen, on the day he would have been 100. Because we all thought, didn't we, when he died, oh, if only another 2 months, but it was not to be. And I met him once, mainly to talk to, and that was to receive my Duke of Edinburgh's award from him. And my father met him once, and that was, he went into a boat that my father was installing some equipment in, and they were all standing there in their ties to attention, and he immediately said, right, get these ties off, let's go downstairs and have a drink. And Dad loved that, and Dad remembered him as a great man, and as did anyone who met him. Thank you, I've been told I'm too quiet. That's so kind of you to tell me. Fantastic. Am I better now? Am I louder? Am I loud enough? Can you hear me? Nobody's replying, so I suppose nobody can hear me at all. Let's see. Anyway, I'll carry on speaking rather more loudly. We've got 10 minutes to go till we get started. People are piling in now. We're up to 130. Splendid. And I've seen someone from, let's have the how far afield we've come from game, shall we? I've seen somebody from Germany. I'm sure there are lots more, but I haven't heard anyone from anywhere else other than obviously the United Kingdom. I love the name United Kingdom, and let's hope it remains. No, I mustn't get political. It's a bit quiet, says somebody again. It's a bit quiet. Is that better? Is that better? I will keep trying to speak more loudly. Good. Where's this? Solihull? Yes. Chicago. Brilliant. Vancouver. Lovely. I have some second cousins in Vancouver. If you know anyone there called Perfect, that's my second cousins in Vancouver. And somebody from Shropshire, Tunbridge, USA, doesn't narrow it down much. USA, London, that's where I'm from. Pimlico is out of the window there. And Canada, lovely. Ottawa. I love how they say Ottawa. Ottawa. And
I'm having trouble hearing you.
I've just got a new Apple Watch. This is amazing. I've just got a new Apple Watch and it picks up things from me every now and then and answers them. And it just said to me, I'm having trouble hearing you. My watch said that to me. I'm having trouble hearing me. That's spooky. I've never used the word spooky before. It's rather good. That is spooky. Good. Suffolk, India. Lovely to hear from you from India. Somerville, Massachusetts. Buckinghamshire, Kent, Ohio. Lovely. Very good to see everyone. We're doing an outreach project in Hackney at the moment with the Rodolphus Choir, and a wonderful man called Tom Daggett, who gets everybody singing, all of the children singing in his Hackney group. He has a lovely children's choir there, and my friend Niall Weir is the vicar, the very excellent vicar of Hackney, St Paul's Church, and they get them all singing away. And he was saying that he was listing the number of people who spoke different languages, and they were doing Panis Angelicus, Bread of Angels, with them. The Panis Angelicus, and he got them all to translate Panis, bread, into their own language and tell them what it was. And I thought, what a lovely thing to do. And I suggested that perhaps they ought to sing a verse of it with all singing their own languages, because the richness of the languages that we find around us here is just fabulous. I absolutely love it. So, and apparently I also found out today that the word companion comes from panis, with, panis, bread, with bread. So a companion is someone you eat bread with. Isn't that lovely? So a companion is someone you eat with. Now, how are we doing? Have we had any people complain about me being too quiet recently? Not recently, so I assume I'm keeping it up. How are we doing? 200 people. Fantastic. Nice to see you, 200 people. 5 minutes to go before we get started. Thank you, the person who had this idea. Thank you, Mark Strawn, for putting it so efficiently and wonderfully into practice and making it work. Just getting rid of my banner headline in case you could see it as well. And so wonderful of you to do that, and your excellent team for putting it all together. I was so happy with the 8 hymns that we had, and if there are people now listening who didn't see the 8 hymns, get going. Just go to Self-Isolation Choir and listen to them and hear them. right through to the end. And 2 from America, 1 from Ireland, 1 from Wales, Llandaff, and the rest 4 from stunning places in this country, England. So here we are. Any more? Oh yes, Philadelphia. Lovely to see you. It's about time I went back to. I've always enjoyed my trips to anywhere in the States. So lovely. I'd love to come and see you again. My one of my notable visits to the States was to Salt Lake City, and I made friends with the teddy bear that they owned, because it was always on the sofa when I sat there, and we were there for 3 days, and I always chatted to the teddy bear, put my arm around the teddy bear. And when I came back to this country, the wonderful I got a parcel, and it was it contained a teddy bear. They returned they sent the teddy bear to me, saying that the teddy bear, Nicholas, had been moping ever since I'd left, because he missed me so much, and really he should be living with you, Ralph. So they sent him to me, and I can't quite reach him now without knocking over some equipment, but he's sitting on the table, sitting on the piano over there, encouraging me. That's Nicholas, and I've had him for about 20 years or so since they gave him to me. Manchester, UK, Brecon, Luxembourg, fantastic, wonderful. Well, we'll give people a couple of minutes. I very much admire, and I can say this before the rest of them come, I very much admire you people who get there early for a choir practice. That's what we want. That's true teamwork, I tell my choirs, when we all arrive at the time we agree. Okay, if we want to be a minute late, we can start a minute late, all of us, but let's all be a team and arrive before the time. And I've seen somebody called Perfect, Dave Perfect, but they're not from Vancouver, are they? If they're from Vancouver, I want to hear from you, because that's my second cousins. And I once went over there, and we went fishing for a day together. Wonderful. So lovely. And here we go. Where else? Early is the best bit, says someone. Absolutely. It's so nice when you arrive early. South Wales. Lovely teddy bear story. Thank you. Actually, why don't I get the teddy bear and show you? I'll just get him and introduce you to him. Here he is. This is Nicholas. Turn to the camera, Nicholas. No, look over there. That's it. That's it. Don't be shy. This is Nicholas, okay? And I've had Nicholas for about 20 years, and he was given to me by some lovely people in Salt Lake City. When I returned from a choir tour, I really got to know this teddy bear very well. And he's wearing the hat. He's wearing the hat that I was given by Rodolphus Choir on their first ever event in 1982 or 3, when we started it. So this is the hat from Vienna, from Austria, and they presented that to me, and I've had it ever since with this lovely. The feather used to stick straight up, but Nicholas enjoys wearing it, sitting on my piano, checking everything's well. Here we go. Go and sit over there, Nicholas. And right. So we now have, how many people have we? 421. Isn't that K421? That's that wonderful Mozart string quartet. Anyway, beautiful in B minor, in D minor. Fantastic string quartet. Beautiful bear, someone says. And here we go. It's now 5 o'clock. So if I were taking a choir now, I'd say we're starting right now, because we always start on time. And but I think because we're not, I think we will just wait a little bit longer, because quite a lot of people are still coming in. USA, Spokane, is that Spokane? Love the hat, says somebody. Thank you. Anyway, good. We're going to start very soon on this, and just leave it perhaps one more minute for a few more people. Let's top the 500 mark. Actually, why 500? What an arbitrary number. Just the same as somebody pointed out to me today, that nowadays with alarm clocks digitally, we all wake up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, or so there must be lots of people just suddenly stirring, and all over the world people will wake up at on the half hour. So I've decided to put mine at 7:29 instead of 7:30, just to be different to everyone else. I will do that tomorrow. Florida, Sutton, UK, that's very near Walton-on-Thames, where I was born. Yahoo! Ohio, lovely, excellent. Nailsea, never been there. Excellent, thank you. Right, let's get going then. Wonderful to see you all, and we've topped the 500 mark, so let's get going. This was a lovely idea. Thank you very much to the person who had the idea of recording Eternal Father Strong to Save. Now, no mucking around with harmony this time. That will be added by my choir at the Old Royal Naval College Chapel. And but we don't need harmony anyway, because we've got it from the organ. And so we all sing in unison. In other words, we all sing the tune. Unison means the tune. And the tune is the one on the top that you hear on the top. For some strange reason, when we hear several tunes played at the same time, which is harmony, we hear the one towards the right on the keyboard of the piano. In other words, the highest one. Why we do that is a complex thing about our brains. So, it was written, this wonderful hymn, Eternal Father Strong to Save, was written in the 19th century, and it was written by a chap called Whiting, with the wonderful tune written by the Reverend John Bacchus Dykes. Now, Dykes was precentor and in charge of the choir at Durham Cathedral, where I for 2 years as a student sang as a choral scholar in Durham Cathedral. And before that, I'd helped out in the choir at St Oswald's Church, where he had been vicar. So John Bacchus Dykes, who was vicar at St Oswald's, where I sang, and then he looked after the choir in the cathedral. So in the wonderful Durham Cathedral. I am so lucky. I've been so lucky in the places that I work, and I have sung or been a choral scholar. So Durham Cathedral for 2 years, fantastic. Then, by a stroke of good fortune, King's College, Cambridge, fantastic. Now I run the music in the Old Royal Naval College Chapel, which is in Greenwich, which is, when it was a Royal Naval Chapel, Prince Philip was a student there for a time. So he will remember this glorious chapel designed by Christopher Wren, and he will remember people singing this very hymn. This hymn was inspired by the verses in Psalm 107, for those in peril on the sea. We've always had people in peril on the sea. Nobody is totally safe on the sea, and it can be, when it turns to storm, it can be ghastly, of course. And this hymn, this wonderful hymn, is all about that. So why don't I play you the tune? Then I will Then I will tell you a little bit more about it, rehearse bits at the piano, then we'll all sing again with it. So here, the other day, our wonderful organist, Jonathan Eyre, made the track, and it's actually on an electric organ because our wonderful pipe organ has suffered in the pandemic. I'm afraid it's lots of its plays when we don't want it to. So we had a broadcast the other day on Radio 3. You can still hear it, actually. Why don't you listen to the live broadcast? It was at 3 o'clock last Wednesday, and in fact last Wednesday, last week, and repeated yesterday at 3 o'clock, last Wednesday at 2:30, repeated yesterday at 3, and some wonderful music for an hour at Evensong there. And I got them to sing this to us so that we'd have a foundation track of them singing it beautifully. They're singing it in harmony. We will sing the tune. I will show you. Actually, no, they're singing the tune for you, so there will be no complication. Here we go. Listen to this. Here they all come. Okay, so there we have one verse for you, and it's one verse so that you can hear the tune, and I will now help you with it. Now, it's been taken over by the Royal Navy, the United States Navy, the Royal Marines, Royal Air Force, British Army, United States Coast Guard, United States Marine Corps. Loads of people know it as For Those in Peril on the Sea, and that's because that line occurs in 3 of the 4 verses. It has been really well liked for a long time because of its clear message. Now, one of the wonderful things about my chapel where I work in the old Royal Naval College in Greenwich is that there is a painting at the East End. So you look towards the East End and there's a painting of a shipwreck in the Malta. Malta used to be called Melita, and that's the name of this hymn tune, Melita. And there, St. Paul was shipwrecked, and he was saved, of course, and miraculously, and they came to rest on Malta in the Bay of St. Paul's Bay. It's now called St. Paul's Bay. It's named after him. And you can go there and see it and think, this is where St. Paul was shipwrecked. And the East End of the chapel where I work twice a week has a picture of that by Benjamin West, the artist. And all sorts of things in the chapel are by him. You really should go if you haven't seen before. Next time you go to London, please go and see it. And come to Evensong. I keep talking about Evensong. The Evensong is just the most wonderful service. Come to Evensong in our chapel at 5:30 on a Monday, or go to Eucharist on a Sunday morning. Look up at the ceiling, is amazing. Superb acoustics, probably caused by the ceiling. And there was a master plasterer called John Papworth who did the ceiling. Anyway, now I can tell you more about it if you like as time goes on. But here we go. I'm going to teach it to you line by line. If you know it already, that's fine. Enjoy singing it line by line. If you know it already, see if you can learn it off by heart. That's the next stage. So you've got the music in front of you and you can listen to me do it. First of all, let's just do this. Let's just stretch like this, stretch round and out, and let those shoulders let the air in. You basically, when you're getting ready to sing, you just need to be open like that, and ready to let the air rush in. And that's why we do these exercises, just to allow the air to come in. Don't take a breath, allow a breath. Allow the breath to come in. If you get a little bit tense when you're singing, or if you get a little bit tense, often it's a good idea to breathe out. So breathe out. And then feel that your wonderful frame lets in breath, encourages breath. And you'll find then that it fills up and it fills up and it fills up. Like that. So breathe out and then let yourself breathe in, fill up. And perhaps do this. Na, 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 na. Everyone just sing that tune and go. Na, 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 na. And what about this one? And go. Na, 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 na. Yes, the chapel I was talking about was the Old Royal Naval College Chapel in Greenwich, and it's right next to the river. If you go along the river in a boat, it's those towers. One of them is the Painted Hall and the other is the chapel. Go and look at the Painted Hall. Unbelievable work of painting over all the walls. And in the chapel, it's beautiful. It's completely different, but similarly beautiful. Do go there and have a look. And the choir that sings is the Conservatoire choir. The Conservatoire nearby is called Trinity Laban. Used to be in the middle of London. It started as a church music college, funnily enough, as Trinity in the middle of London. But now it has dance there as well as music. Laban is the dance bit. Trinity is the music bit. And so it's a conservatoire, and we are the only conservatoire chapel choir in the world. And I'm very proud of them. They make a lovely sound. Do listen to Evensong last Sunday on Radio 3. Go to BBC Sounds and find it. 3 o'clock on Sunday, or you will hear it. Anyway, here we go. Let's do it line by line. So I'm going to sing this to you straight. Here we go. Eternal Father, strong to save. Everyone, 1, 2, 3. Eternal Father, strong to save. Now listen to the next one. Whose arm doth bind the restless wave. Whose arm, 2, 3. Whose arm doth bind the restless wave. Now some with lower voices might find arm doth bind a little bit high. It's high for me as well. And so here's the tip. Whose arm doth, keep it smooth, keep it legato, keep the breath flowing, and then trust. Don't go, whose arm doth. Go, just let it flow. And if it crashes and burns, let it. It doesn't matter. But keep the breath flowing. So let's all do this. Whose 1, 2, 3. Whose arm doth bind the restless wave. Now, here is where I love the tune, because it starts to tell us the secrets. Why? Who bids the mighty ocean deep? And there's something mighty about that line too. Together, 1, 2, 3. Who bids the mighty ocean deep? Bids means biddest, means commands. tells the mighty ocean deep, keep to your appointed limits. Stop messing around, okay? Its own appointed limit keep. Sing that one, its own. 1, 2, 3. Its own appointed limits keep. Let's go from who bids the might from there. Who bids? Third line. 1, 2, 3. Who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Then listen to me. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee. Oh, hear. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea. Sing for those in peril. 1, 2, 3. For those in peril on the sea. And I love it when it's gone far away from the original key, as if it's gone out to sea and got lost, and gently we're brought back again by oh, hear us when. Feel that lovely warm feeling of that chord. It's that note. It's warm, it's subdominant if you want the technical term. So here we go. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea. Okay, so let's see if we can sing. Let's try and sing all the way through this first verse. Oh, eternal Father. Okay, then I am going to invite you to sing with my wonderful choir and our wonderful organist, Jonathan Eyre. So, eternal Father, strong to save. 1, 2, 3. Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm doth bind the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea. Okay, and then on the next one it's upper voices only. Oh, Saviour. Okay, and then in the third verse it's all lower voices. O sacred Spirit, who didst brood upon the chaos, dark and rude. Don't we like dark and rude? Who badst its angry tumult cease. I bid you cease. And it did, of course, and gave us light and life and peace. O hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea. Now, this last verse I particularly love because I remember it from where my first job was director of music at a nautical college, Pangbourne College, for merchant sailors. And we sang this at the end of each service on a Sunday. We sang gently. Of course, sailors would sing together heartily all the way through when they sang it, as they did in their services on board ship. Okay, but we used to sing it a little bit more gently. We were on dry land and it was the end of a service. O Trinity, every single week. So that was 5 years I was director of music there at Pangbourne College in Berkshire. Lovely place. And then after I left teaching and finished at Eton, I went to run the music at the Old Royal Naval College in Greenwich, and I was so thrilled to find that at the end of each Sunday service they sing this last verse. Lucky old me, we could sing this just the same as I had done in those old days. Anyway, good. Now let me put on the track, and I'd like you all to sing this, okay? And so listen, I will conduct. There are set amounts of time between each verse. You've got it written in if you want to count. I will count in the first verse, just so that you know how many to wait. I will also conduct to bring you in. Anyway, I like conducting. And then off we'll go. So here we go. We get the play over first. That's to remind people of the tune in case they need any reminder. And then in we come. Okay, here we go. Two. Upper voices. Lower voices. There you go. I'd like to hear from you how you got on. And somebody says, why aren't we singing harmony? Well, I just thought for this it would be good to make it absolutely simple for everyone, because some people would feel a little bit challenged by the harmony. I know some people can sing harmony, but we're just sticking to unison, the tune in unison for everyone this time. So I hope you managed to do the high notes nicely, and let's just show you once again. It's only that first one right at the beginning. Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm doth bind the restless rage. Okay, restless wave. Okay, that should be completely straightforward if you just keep the flow going through. Malta is an amazing place. I don't know if some people have been to Malta. In that picture that we see at the front, and actually on the video, on the pictures that you will see when we give you the proper thing, when we complete this video we're producing, you will see pictures of this wonderful chapel, and at the front is a picture of this shipwreck in St Paul's Bay, now called where St Paul was shipwrecked. And you'll see a snake, which the islanders welcome him, and you see islanders on the sand right next to the wrecked ship, and they're welcoming them and looking after them, and they've built a fire for them to keep them warm because they'll all be shivering from the cold of the waves. And a snake comes on St Paul's hand, and he gets rid of it, and they look after them until it's all sorted out. Well, oh look look what, Alistair, thank you. At this moment, of course, we need this. Thank you very much. Those who weren't with us for the hymns thing won't know that I actually traditionally it was a little bit later, of course, at the when we were doing the hymns, but this is absolutely fine. So thank you, Alistair. Are you going to say hello to everybody? No, he's shy. He's too shy. So, but I can assure you, Alistair is there and he exists, and he made this lovely lychee cocktail for me. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry you haven't got one as well. Anyway, let me put this somewhere safe. Okay. So there we go. Wonderful. Oh, hey, lovely. Thank you. So before we go, we're going to sing it through once again. I'm looking for some good on you, Alistair. Someone says thank you. Hi, Alistair. No, I'm looking for any I need an Alistair, says someone. Absolutely. It's great. Good. Oh, yes. Helen, who I knew your husband. I didn't realise he was buried at sea. How wonderful that you can use this to remember. How fantastic. Well, we're again here on Thursday, and I will tell you a wonderful story about, well, I think it's wonderful anyway, about Malta. One of the best books I've read, I know last time I said the best book I've read is the one about St. Francis, but one of the best books I've read is a thing called The Siege of Malta, 1565, by a man called Ernest Bradford. And it tells of the Turkish invasion of Malta and how they held out. They had a siege and they held out. And St. Paul's Bay features in that very bay, with that picture. And I will tell you, if you're good, I'll tell you that story. And if you're bad, I'll tell you it twice. I'll tell you that story on Thursday. And Thursday is not too late to join, okay? Thursday is not too late to join, so do get other people to join in. It will be wonderful to see lots of people on Thursday, and have loads of people to be able to say to Her Majesty the Queen that we've all presented this to her and the royal family. What a lovely thing to do. And we've got 1,300, and it'll be wonderful to increase that. Do get out to people. And when people say, but I can't sing, I'd love to, but I can't sing, tell them, report to me. Well, that's what I said in schools anyway. Report to me. Come and see me. I'll show you can sing. And people only come to you and say, I can't sing, if they want to sing. And everybody can that wants to. In my experience, absolutely everybody can sing that would like to. So persuade people. And sorry, those who'd like to sing in harmony. Next time, whatever we do next time, I promise you can sing in harmony. But for the moment, enjoy the tune. The tune is what J. Bacchus Dykes, that marvellous vicar of St. Oswald's Church in Durham, wrote. And anyway, so here we go. We're going to sing it through once again. Sing your heart out. And if you don't like it, that the middle verses are left to high voices and low voices, provided you don't record it, you can sing now. So everyone can sing if they like. Are you ready? And I'm sorry it's only twice this time, so I'll see you on Thursday and that'll be it. Then we get recording. So have fun. Thank you, everybody. Lovely to see you. All the best to you, and see you on